What is going on, kind folks? Hope everyone is doing fantastic today. I'm just sitting in front of these huge and giant oak trees. I think they're oaks, I'm not really sure. I'm not an arborist, but I'm gonna go with oak trees. But I wanted to come today to talk about an idea of how do you give a really good speech, or how do you give a really good presentation? And do you give really good camera work, as you can see. But how do you give a really good speech? How do you give a really good presentation? And from what I've learned over the times that I've been able to speak in front of organizations, whether it's a church or a company, or been able to moderate some small group meetings or small little lunch and learns from my alma mater, what I have learned is practice, 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 practice. I know that seems super obvious and super simple, but it's something that we're not doing, and it's something that I didn't do 2 years ago. Before, I thought I was all that in a bag of chips, and so I would have the general outline and just go in, and sometimes it'd be fortunate where I'd give the same presentation twice in a row. First time was okay, the second time was actually pretty good. But I want to encourage you, no matter whether it's a 5-minute presentation or a 50-minute pitch to get a huge customer, is practice, practice, practice. And my biggest tip is practice like you're actually going to give it. So that means if you're going to be standing, stand and give the presentation. If you're going to be sitting, sit and give the presentation. Do a mock presentation, whether that's, again, for 5 minutes or 50 minutes. Obviously, the 50-minute one takes a lot of time, but give a mock presentation just as if you were actually giving that presentation or that speech or whatever it is that you're actually doing. That is the main tip. Practice like you're actually doing it. And if you want to go a step above and beyond to really make sure that you know your practice with some music or a podcast going on in the background, or if you have little earbuds or whatever it is, little headphones, put the headphones in your ears, give the presentation with music going. And seriously though, if you really want to challenge yourself, give your presentation with a podcast or even another speech going. If you can clearly and flawlessly present that presentation, speech, whatever it is, whether it's for 5 minutes or 50 minutes, with a podcast or a speech going on in the background, you know your stuff and it will be flawless. I'm telling you, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. Making sure that distractions are going on, because they're gonna happen in those presentations. So that's why you have the music going on or the podcast going on in your ears while you're giving that presentation. Man, if you can get through those distractions in your ears and while you're practicing, it is going to go much easier and much better for you when you're actually giving that 5-minute presentation, that 50-minute presentation, that lunch and learn, that talk, that whatever you're doing. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Practice, 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 like you're actually giving it. And then also go a step above and beyond, have some music playing, a podcast playing, and actually give the same presentation and practice it out just as you would during the actual event. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Talk to you later. Deuces. Bye.